Hey guys, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndromes, adjusting my headset just a little bit. And welcome to the Quarter 2 update for 2018, or as I like to call these things, what the fuck is going on with my channel. Thinking that you are still following this channel actively, as in, watching the videos they upload, ever since 2012, where I finished my higher education, well, or at least as far as I was willing to go anyway, and at that point my upload schedule basically, and my online presence actually, come to think of it, dropped by half. If you're following ever since then I want to keep you up to date of what is currently going on with my free time, what is going on with Discovery Freelancer, and what is going on with my projects on Discovery Freelancer, because hey, this channel is still called that way, and until it isn't anymore, I'm going to do these videos. Anyway, so, first things first, what is always on your mind, considering the amount of comments I get every single video? What's going on with the Let's Play? Right. So, I'm actually going to nail this to the wall for my future self, because I know that my future self is going to forget everything I'm about to say and going to make the same stupid mistake again. So, the question is, what happens to the freaking Let's Plays? Because over the last 3 years, every single time I start a Let's Play, the A to Z Let's Play, I kind of stop at some point without finishing it. So why is that? Trick question. It's not stopped yet. Don't worry about it. I'll get to that in a moment. But essentially what happens is, I start these Let's Plays when I have nothing to do. I want some sort of project, I want to invest my time in Discovery with something, I want to play the game. So I start doing these Let's Plays because I think it's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun to watch, and usually I make these videos from a tutorial-ish narrative, which means that they kind of do a double purpose, so I have more incentive to actually continue doing them. Now, what happens... Now, because I usually start doing these Let's Plays when I'm bored or have nothing engaging to do on Discovery, it usually happens after a long break from playing on the server. So I come back, I go like, okay, I need something to do, let's do a Let's Play. So I usually do. And what happens then is that after a couple of episodes, I start flying more and more, I start getting into the rhythm of Discovery again, and I join a group or a faction, or I make a little side project, because if I sit down during the weekends and it's like, okay, you know what, I'm not in the mood to record a Let's Play today, I want to do something else. And it's not even really about getting sidetracked, it's more that my free time that I can give to Disco, apart from the other things that I like to do during my free time, is so limited, and it has gotten so very limited since 2012, that, at some point, the things I start investing in apart from the Let's Play kind of take over. So in this case, that would be things like, I don't know, the Firestalker drones, I'm going to talk about those in a moment, the torpedoes, random tutorial stuff, ModDB, stuff like that. Now that I'm not a staff member anymore, I obviously have much more free time and much more initiative to actually log and play the game, as apart from not doing so. So, needless to say, I'm kind of, I kind of want to participate in factions like the LPI, for example, like the Amalfi Directive that is led by Scourge right now. And, well, it kind of starts taking a centerfold because, it's kind of that approach that, this Let's Play episode hasn't been out for a month. I think it can wait another day, right? So, I'm not going to fall into that trap again, hopefully, probably, maybe. So, the idea is that, considering I already have a dedicated Junker character right now, I think the Let's Play portion of this video series involving the character... shit, I don't even remember its name anymore. Oh, Dr. Hades. There you go. The Let's Play revolving around that character is pretty much ended at this point, but considering I did make it into a tutorial / Let's Play, I want to at least finish the tutorial part and the Next episode is going to be about trading mechanics, and yes, I know, I know what you're going to say, like, trading is so simple, why the fuck does it need a separate video? I'll get to that, don't worry. Stay tuned, you'll see that video. And, yeah, the Let's Play part of it is kind of tricky to do, because you kind of need to encounter interesting things, and Junkers might have not been the best pick, because, you know, they're really good at trading, but in terms of actual playing encounter, unless you are kind of into that whole discrimination thing against you, because, you know, you don't take sides, oh, you're a filthy junker, it's not really interesting to play. And I remember I recorded a video about 3 times in a row, and, well, it didn't really work out that well, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna, you know, the 3rd time's a charm, right? And the 3rd time never came around. I started doing something else. So, that's it for the Let's Play. The Let's Play is going to be continued, but it's going to be focusing on the tutorial parts. There's trading, there's mining, there's the reputation system, including the ID, zone of influence, you know, all sorts of things like that. And I think I might try to do an episode about the most common rookie mistakes that people make in terms of server rules and how to explain them a little bit better. But considering there is a rumor that server rules might be changed a little bit, I don't want to make it right now, otherwise it's going to be instantly outdated but the moment I upload it. Anyway, so, second thing, what happened to the torpedoes? It's like, hey, like, I gotta do a Let's Play, and it's like, no, I want to do torpedoes now, no, I want to do Firestalkers now. Well, okay, so, the thing about the torpedoes got shelved, in terms of activity, because after I created them and we started flying them, there was a sudden, huge spike in unlawful activity in New York, and, so what happened is, after the torpedoes, the Xeno Alliance got resurrected. Then suddenly we have the I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but it is the recon group for the Skra. Then you have the Commune flying around with their fighters. Then you have the Born to Be X people flying around their rock bombers a lot, and it suddenly got huge. It suddenly got a huge saturation of lawfuls, and this is not even counting things like the Uneaters in Texas and the Separatists, the Bell Group Harmony. At that point, there was just too much going on in Liberty. So essentially, what happened is that when we would log in on our torpedoes, people would just log off because they knew, oh, the torpedoes are logging in. It means that everything else is just going to log in and just fucking gank everything. So it kind of became impossible to fly. You're trying to find some lawful characters to interact with, but they're already being shot by something. So, yeah, it's not even about fair play. It's not that we took pity on these poor people getting ganked. No, it's just that by the time we got there was no one else left to shoot. So, the torpedoes kind of got shelled by that. But that being said, you do have the Firestalker drones right now, which is a little side project. It started off like a side project because I wanted to see how people would react to sort of thing by bringing the old Firestalkers back. First of all, yes, I know they're not the old Firestalker drones. They were spatials with double Firestalker missiles, but that was back in the day when Firestalkers were actually usable and they were fun, especially in large groups. And funnily enough, if you ever want to go back as to why the change in like missiles in general, how the missile damage and everything else recalculation happened back when Arrow was a dev, you can actually blame the Firestalker drones because we kind of exposed the problematic nature of missiles used in large numbers by many players. But yeah. Anyway, the current Firestalker drones is a kind of a jab. I will be honest, it is kind of a jab at players who do the edgy AI thing. You know, when they basically fly AI ships, but do the equivalent of the very, I would say, presumptuous Nomad roleplay. And I really don't like that. I fucking hate Nomad speak. It's it's not even presumptuous. It's just downright annoying, and it has no place in 2018. Sadly, until someone has a better way to do this, I'm not really capable of ranting about it, because there's just no alternative, and unless I want to provide an alternative myself, I have, you know, saying that I don't like it, it's just as far as I'm going to go. Now, the Firestalker drones is basically a lampoon at the AI playing a drone that has absolutely nothing going for itself. It is not a intelligence at all. It is the lack of intelligence, and the whole group is built around that. A drone executes a specific amount of commands, and it is that acceptance that you must actually go through with these commands if they're presented properly. That is the challenge of the actual faction. And the other thing that I wanted to test with them is, can you have actual neutrality in Discovery Freelancer in the roleplay environment? Because, so obviously, basically, the Firestalker Drones is a mercenary company. Like, from a broad perspective. It's just a merc group. Now, the way that it's presented, though, is that both sides can hire it. They're just drones, and the first side to hire it is going to get the contract. Once the contract is fulfilled, the drone is up for hire again, and either side can hire it. You cannot hire it to just shoot all the hostiles. You have to hire it to individually shoot someone. Once he is dead or the drone is dead, the contract is ended. And see, the idea about true neutrality is the fact that people... Oh, wow, that was an interesting... this is probably the first time I actually saw that, you know, effect going so long, and it just disappeared. Anyway, the thing about true neutrality is the idea that people will not impose roleplay consequences on a truly neutral party. So in this case, there's no point in shooting the drone for shooting someone on your side, because it's just a drone. The fact that you didn't hire it is basically your own damn fault, and if the guy who issued the contract dies, the drone stops again, and you can hire the drone again. You don't have to shoot it. And I've actually had very interesting encounters like that. At least 3 times in a row, in Liberty of all places, people hired me from both sides multiple times during a fight. And after that, there were no repercussions. They would hire me again, and that is a very interesting thing to see. But obviously, I know for a fact that's not going to last. Someone is going to start pointing out that you know, drones are drones. Sure, they don't think, but someone is creating them, so they need to take responsibility. I know that is going to happen eventually. Hopefully, it can be somehow mitigated, but we'll see. But yeah, drones so far, very successful, making quite a bit of money off of it as well, because people really want other people dead, and they're gonna pay you quite a fair bit. And so far we have 5 people in the faction, and that is pretty much the cap. You can't really have a lot of people in a faction like this, and this is something that I'm really trying to avoid. Drones should be not omnipresent. Otherwise, there are going to be much more initiative to somehow control their presence in lawful areas, especially in lawful areas. And, well, you know, guessing stuff like that, it kind of works, I guess. I'm prepared for the worst, but so far it's been fun, and so far I don't really see any negative comments about it. Because, well, it's just a drone, so, you know, there's nothing a lot you can complain about. But, you know, time is going to tell. Anyway, that's enough about the drones. If you want to, you know, comment, like, I encourage you to actually give feedback about the whole thing. There's currently 2 threads about them on the forums. One is the manual, the other is the feedback and write-up. So, you know, go see what is happening there, and if you want to suggest something. Anyway... what else? The Amalfi Directorate, and quite frankly, I still don't know how to freaking pronounce that thing, but Outcast Faction, not really sure what my current position is there, because I kind of want to roleplay my character as a slave, but that also means that there's absolutely no roleplay justification for it to actually give message them, so my actual activity in the faction is hard to describe. Like, it's non-existent. I'm just waiting for people to start flying, but just like with the drones, the Amalfi are very small. as they are right now, and the people who are in the faction right now, they are on the opposite side of the world, so, you know, my time zone doesn't really overlap with them, and if I do fly, I usually fly something else because, you know, selfish reasons. But yeah, so far so good. I think that I might actually, from what I see so far, I think I'm more active this year than I was in the previous one, mostly because I kind of changed my worth, no, not my worth, nothing's gonna change that, my work etiquette a little bit, so I don't get distracted by freelancer things. But at the same time, it kind of makes me enjoy my free time a little bit more, and as I get older, I might not want to spend all of my free time on Disco. But, you know, it's not like I'm going to leave anytime soon. Anyway, this was just the project update. There are a couple of things that I'm working on right now, apart from the Let's Play tutorial part of the Let's Play, anyway. And it might or might not result in an SRP, but I'm not exactly sure whether or not I want to do so, because I was a SRP snob back in the day, and I think that if it's not actually unique, if it's not unique roleplay that you cannot in any way do with your current ID, it shouldn't be a unique roleplay. So what I think about the SRPs, and yeah, this is just my thoughts, SRP should be the last resort when you cannot physically progress your roleplay with any given ID. So if you defect a ship from one faction to the other, you can still physically fly the fucking thing. Obviously you're not going to have a core, but you can still fly. There's no reason for an SRP for that, unless you just want to admit, hey, I want to fly this you know, this outcast battleship with my Liberty Navy IDs, like, hey, no, that's not what SRPs are for. Come on, you're devaluing the whole fucking thing. And the worst thing is just reading the stock roleplay, and yeah, I have huge amounts of respect for the staff who actually read the fucking thing. This is something that I instantly told my my guys back in the day. I'm never going to vote on SRPs because I can't be fucked reading them. I don't care about them. They're stock. There's no reason why. Like, if I read them, I'm just going to put a no, because this is fucking stock footage from, like, grad school. Like, there is absolutely no reason for this to be given its own ID, but, you know, Freelancer, for what it's left of the community's point, you know, the standards need to be set lower a little bit. But, well, there you go. Anyway, hey look, it reset another time. Anyway, this was Spazzy Dragon. This was my update / status upload for Q2 2018. I'm not dead yet. The Let's Play is going to be continued, and I'm going to keep beeping until something stupid happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you have any suggestions or questions, I can answer them in the video comments, hopefully. And that's about it. Fly safe.